When African people were brought here, they brought with them needlework skills already. So it was easy for enslaved Africans to be taught how to make quilts. I often say if quilts, especially those in Southern museums that have been attributed to white makers, if those quilts had voice, they would talk about the laying on of hands and needles by enslaved African American men and women. The Women of Color Quilters Network has been an important group. We as a group have done many exhibitions, not only here in the United States, but around the world. The founding members and long-term members are a very close-knit group, and I love that. There's power in that. Most of the quilts that originate out of our network and originate in the shows have to do with either African American history or some facet of living life here in America and racism in America. When people think in terms of quilts, they think in terms of warmth, hearth, home, protection. It's a non-threatening way to tell very, very difficult subjects that people, they don't want to read about them, but they will come to see them in the museum. I think it makes a difference in how people feel. If people know the history of African Americans in this country, they see us in a different light. So many of these stories are not necessarily known. We've always been contributors in so many ways to the fabric of this country, and people coming to the museum to see the show will see that. These quilts offer, especially in a museum setting, it's a safe place to talk about these difficult subjects. And that's important. To me, as a curator and as a historian, this exhibition has been a windfall because I learned a lot. Not only did I learn a lot, but the artists learned a lot. The artists themselves put a lot of work into studying the subjects of their quilts. It's been a learning experience for all of us. One of the things that never happened for me in school was to learn anything about African American history. It's important for me as curator to see that our best light shines and shines through our quilts. When you can create something to change the heart, spirit, and mind of an individual, then you've reached your goal as an artist. I want the viewers to leave the exhibition knowing that we as African Americans have participated in the making of this country since we stepped off the boat. African Americans have been explorers. They've been business people. They were cowboys. They've been part of the fabric of every facet of this country. And people will see that in the quilts. And I think that's important. Quilts have jumped off the bed onto the wall, and they're now seen as works of art. And that's the unexpected thing that people are astonished by, because these are not the quilts that your grandmother made. They truly are seen as works of art. The materials even that are used for the quilts are sometimes unorthodox. So we go beyond just the needle and thread, but you see some of everything on these quilts and every kind of material. This is the gift that the quilt maker gives to the viewer. It's about disseminating information through this beauty that's the spirit of the cloth. And the cloth can speak. African people believe that the colors and the patterns of the cloth have meaning. So with the use of cloth, we tell the stories not only of our culture, but the making of America. That's the story that we have to tell. That is about the Women of Color Quilters Network. This is what we do. This is what we enjoy. And it's our gift, not only to ourselves and our family, but a gift to the nation.